Hey guys, DJ Bricks here, and I just wanted to make this video to go over my review qualifications. So when the new year hits and I'm reviewing all the 2019 sets, you guys know what I look for in all the various sets LEGO releases. And I have different standards for each of them, so I'm just gonna go over each of them here. Alright, so the first qualifications I'm gonna go over are for the regular everyday retail sets that you can go into a store and buy straight off the shelf. And I'm just going to use Newt's case here for a sample. So if I was looking at this set, these types of sets will be out of 10 points, and I will assign 4 points for the build. So the build I will be focusing on the stability of the model, the playability of it, because this is LEGO is essentially a kid's toy, and so I will be focusing on the stability and the playability, and the overall accuracy to the movie or whatever it's based off of. If it's an older movie, and like this is based off the first Fantastic Beasts, so I would be a lot harder on it compared to the set that they released for Crimes of Grindelwald. So I'm a little bit more lenient because I know that one was based off concept art and what the studio would allow the toy manufacturer to have while making merchandise for it. So, but here they would have to look at the actual movie after it's released to get all this information, and so I'm a lot harsher on that for sets based off older movies. 2 points are also for the minifigures for, again, accuracy, and accuracy, like I just stated, is older movies I will be a lot harder on, and upcoming movie based sets I'll be a little bit more lenient, but I will focus on accuracy and prints and design to determine the 2 points for the minifigures. 2 additional points will be awarded for quality of the set, so that's not just it's not just the pieces for me. That's like the prints on the creatures here, for example, and it's also the instructions. So if for say like this I got all bent up because it was just shoved into the box instead of like neatly put in there. So I do. It is a quality issue for me, and also the stickers were kind of crumpled up, so that's also something I will look at with quality. And another thing is the box art. The box art also falls on this point too. I will look at how the box is designed. Does it display the set well? Does it give an accurate representation? Like if the Thunderbird was like bigger than he actually is, that would be a problem for me if that were the case on the box. Or like the Rumpet here, it uses it's kind of posed as a way to hide the little technicals that are actually on the model, so that would be an issue that I would look at the box for. And then 2 final points for price, and that will price per part will play a significant role in that. And just overall, just do I think the set is worth the price point that it sells for in the United States? And also the Star Wars UCS sets or any of the Lego D2C, their direct-to-consumer lines, they will also follow this review regular sets category, but I will be a lot harsher on those sets if I review them. And I forgot to mention that all the build, the minifigures, the quality, the price, all those will follow into the other sets categories, but they will essentially remain the same. I will look for the same things in every single set subcategory, but that's it for regular sets. Next category is the promotional and polybags sets. This will include the gift with purchases from the Lego store, the ones you get if you buy a movie on Blu-ray or something, like the Jesse Cruz one. Edna represents the pre-order exclusives for video games, and then the Turbo one right here represents just the impulse buys that you can go to Target and see in the checkout lanes and all that. So for all these ones, they pretty much are out of 5 points. Up to 3 points can be assigned to the build of the set, so, and 2 points for the minifigures if a minifigure is included. And then 1 to 2 points for the quality and price, and price will be determined by which kind of how you get the polybags. Like if it's an impulse buy, that the normal like $4 would affect that. If it's something you have to buy, like for the pre-orders and stuff, it since you have to buy a game or movie to get those, I will be a lot harsher on those. And the gift with purchases too. So I will be a lot harsher on these three because you have to spend a certain amount of money to get them free. Alright, so for the next subsection is the Star Wars Battle Packs. These are pretty much gonna be 10 points in my system. You get 2 points for the little build they always have to include, 2 points for the army building itself, because these, if you didn't know, these are for amassing armies of figures, and you're meant to buy multiples of these packs. So minifigure inclusion is a very big deal, and that doesn't take place of the minifigures. That's just its own sub-kit criteria for these. And then 2 points are for the actual minifigure, and then 2 points for quality, and 2 points for the price. And that's it for the battle packs for Star Wars. The next category is the Mighty Micros and Microfighter sets from Star Wars, and then the Superheroes line. These will be out of 10 points. 5 points is for the vehicle designs, and particularly in Star Wars, since these microfighters are meant to be like little chibi builds of the iconic vehicles from Star Wars, so I will be more harsh on, does this Millennium Falcon look like a shrunken down version of the Millennium Falcon, specifically this one, since it's based off the sequel trilogy. I will be a lot harsher on if it looks more like the vehicle. So that is how that's going to work. 3 points are for the minifigures included. 1 point is for the quality, and 1 point is for the price. And that does it for the Microfighters and Mighty Micros. Alright, so next is going to be the buildable figures from the Star Wars line. And I know this line is now defunct and Lego has kind of dropped this, but I will go more into this in my channel update video of why I will still cover these. But for what I look for in these, I do 3 points for the build and character representation. I will do 5 whole points for the articulation, since these are pretty much buildable action figures, so articulation is a big critique I will have for these sets. 1 point for the quality and 1 point for the price, resulting in 10 total points for these buildable figures. And again, I will go over why I will still cover these in my channel update video. Next are the brickhead sets, which will be 10 points in total. So there's 5 whole points for character representation, since these are pretty much supposed to be Lego's answer to Funko Pop. So how well does it represent the character? Does it get Darth Vader across here? Or, and with other of the brickheads, does it look like who it's supposed to look like? And if it's supposed to be from a certain movie, like the Rey figure from Last Jedi or something, that also goes into character representation. So 5 whole points for that. 3 points for the build, 1 point for quality, and 1 point for the price. So 10 points in total. And let's move on to the next category. Next will be the Ninjago spinners, the Airjitsu, the Dragon Masters. These whole sets in particular. These whole sets are going to be out of 5 points. So there's going to be 1 point for the price, 1 point for quality, 2 whole points for functionality. How well does the ripcord function on the set work? And 1 point for the build and included minifigure. So that's it for those category sets. So let's move on to the next one. So now we go over my criteria for the collectible minifigures, the extension of the Bricktober packs, and the advent calendars. I pretty much lump all these 3 together because it's pretty much just individual things that I can't really critique as a whole. I have to critique each individual component to result in final score. So what I do is I double the number of included items, and then I assign points based off each one. So if a figure or whatever is great, it gets 2 points. If a figure is good, like it's a good inclusion, but it has like 1 or 2 problems, so it gets 1 point. Meh is just self-explanatory. It's if included item is just, it's not really good or bad in any way, it's just middle of the road, it gets 0 points. if it's a bad inclusion, it's going to get a -1 point, and if it's pointless, it's going to get -2 points. So pointless just means I don't know why Lego would waste a slot on it, and bad is, well, it's a good figure, but it's a bad variant or a bad inclusion, and it took up a spot that it really didn't need to take up. So that's it for this category, and let's move on to the final one, which is the junior sets, and talk about my criteria for them. So finally we reached the juniors and what it's going to be known as in 2019, the 4+ line, because Lego has kind of dropped the whole juniors branding, but they've kept the juniors concept, and they just moved them into the regular themes that they're tied into, and rebranded the box to have the little 4+ in the corner. So same basic concept, it's just Lego dropped the whole juniors branding but kept the same aesthetic. So for these, as you already saw the review with the Scorpion Street, they're going to be out of 10 points and 2 points for the price. I will be a little bit more lenient on these ones because if you didn't know, junior sets kind of have big, chunky, easy to build pieces, so they have small piece counts, but they're like $10-$20. So the price per part that I usually critique these sets with for the price, it kind of is a little wishy-washy with these ones. I'll only really dock the points if it's a abysmal price to part ratio, like with that one Jurassic World Junior set that's a T-Rex set. That one is no good. So 2 points for the price, 1 point for the quality, 2 points for the minifigures included, and then 5 whole points for the build. And it's not only the easy to build nature of a set, but it's also a real emphasis on playability and stability, because these sets are aimed at 4-year-olds who are too old for Duplo but not old enough for the actual bigger Lego sets. So these kids who will be playing with these sets are going to be a little bit more rougher with these toys, so stability is a big component of my critique there, along with the easy to build nature of the sets. So that wraps up my entire go over of my my criteria for all these sets, and I hope you found this informative. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments, and I will see you in the next video, which is hopefully very soon. Bye-bye.